Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this post-Labor Day edition of Dave TV. The 4th of September. Everybody's going back to school and back to work and jamming the roads. And I'm just sitting here. My commute is 10 steps. So how y'all doing, everybody? Usually Labor Day is like the beginning of the presidential race every 4 years, and most conventions, the two conventions, are done by Labor Day. But this year, for some reason, the Democrats are having their convention the week of Labor Day. I don't know, is that a new thing? I always seem to remember that both party conventions usually end before Labor Day. But this year, we had Labor Day, now we're having the Democratic Party convention down there in Charlotte. So I don't know, it just seems a little odd to me. But anyhow, WMAL, sent its three stooges down to Tampa last week. Brian Neiman, Brian Wilson, and Chris Plante to cover the Republicans down in Tampa. Now, for the Democrats, they're only doing half-assed coverage, okay? Which is, what do you expect from WMAL? They only sent Brian Wilson down. Brian Neiman apparently is staying here because his wife is pregnant and he must attend to her needs, so he can't be down there in Charlotte. Who knows? Maybe when he got her pregnant, maybe they actually thought, now let's see, if we do it today, 9 months, it'll be right during the Democratic convention, so I won't have to go down there. They probably did. And of course, chicken, cluck, 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 Chris Plante. He went to the Republican convention, but he ain't going to the Democratic convention. Why? I guess he's just scared shitless. If any Democrats ever listen to his show, I'm sure he'd get roughed up by some of those liberal thugs down there in Charlotte. So he's, he probably has his little studio there on Jennifer Street. He's probably got 6 armed guards out front, lock the doors, security, bomb-sniffing dogs, helicopters overhead to make sure that no evil Democrats get anywhere near him during his show. He's so scared. He goes out the back door in a disguise with a big mustache and a hat on so no one can see him. And, has a big, limo that chauffeurs him to his little shabby little apartment there, wherever it is, 1-bedroom studio, You just got to wonder, come on, Chris, man up, go to the Democratic convention, be a man, show you got some balls, don't be such a coward, jeepers. It's a lot of these right-wing talkers, left-wing talkers too, the guys that spew the most horrible political venom crap, they're usually chickens. They're usually scared to death to go out in public, and they're usually just, they can do it as long as they're behind their little, solitude of their little studios with their microphones, and they don't have to have any human contact, It just shows you how these people are frightened. Chris Plante, coward. Come on, he should have gone down to Charlotte this week. Why not? So, speaking of Cumulus, Cumulus is the awful company that owns WMAL. I just had to read, I was reading something really funny today. I was looking at Radio Info's morning news item this morning. Last week down in Atlanta, Clear Channel pulled the plug on WKLS, which is a rock station, longtime rock station, 34-something years, almost 40 years down there in Atlanta, 96.1. They pulled the plug on WKLS, turned it into a contemporary hit station called Power 96.1. Well, Cumulus head John Dickey, who is based in Atlanta, makes the bold statement, "We are the saviors of rock. We ran Clear Channel out of the format. We are going to save rock for all Atlantans. Clear Channel tried to kill off rock. We are going to save it." So they're going to be moving a rock format onto one of its translator stations. That means low power. So bold John Dickey's moving in there and going to put rock format on one of Cumulus's little weak low power stations to keep the format alive. And he's talking about being a savior to rock and roll. What did John Dickey do about a year ago, last September? He pulled the plug on Cumulus's 105.9 The Edge here in Washington, the hard classic rocker. So, that was a full power station. Put WMAL on there and the ratings went down the toilet. But anyhow, Here's this guy who's bragging about saving rock and roll, and he killed it off here in Washington. What a hypocrite. Hypocrite. A lot of hypocrites over there at Cumulus these days, huh? And of course, one of the other things on WMAL, they had to lead one of their newscasts this morning with the fact that there's the new breaking news. There's an outbreak of bed bugs down there in Charlotte. So I guess they got to, slant the news, make the Democrats feel like goofballs, downplay the Democratic convention, whatever, out-of-touch radio station. I'm not saying they shouldn't be a right-wing radio station, but, they should have some, if they want to get any decent ratings in this market, they're going to have to, serve up what people in this market want, and that is a more fair and balanced talk station. Okay? Golly Jehoshaphat. Sun Myung Moon passed away over the weekend. He was the guy who literally plowed millions and billions of dollars into the Washington Times. Be interesting to see if his predecessors continue to do that, because obviously that paper wouldn't have been here for all these years without an infusion of cash from the Unification Church. It has never supported itself. It never will. Same thing with the Examiner. I mean, I like the Examiner in the sense that it's an easy-to-read paper, but it's a right-wing goofball paper. And, Philip Anschutz is this billionaire, and he just plows his money into it. I mean, if the Examiner had to survive on its own with no subscription revenue and this kind of goofball righty editorial stance, I don't think it would. It's funny how everybody that's competing against the Washington Post, they're all just these self-financed organizations that couldn't be able to survive on their own. These millionaires, billionaires like Sun Myung Moon, like Anschutz, come to Washington and go, I want to run a newspaper. I'm just going to support it. And that's what they do. Kind of funny to see that, huh? All right, we're listening to the Gamut here on 103.5 WTOP, their HD3, cool station. Also, Comcast SportsNet is adding the peacock to its logo there. That Comcast and NBC merged back in early 2011, and gradually the company has been changing over all those Comcast networks to NBC networks. They took Versus and flipped it over to NBC Sports Network and stuff like that. And wouldn't be surprised to see Comcast SportsNet be renamed sometime in 2013 as NBC Local Sports. It'll be something like NBC SportsNet Washington or NBC SportsNet Baltimore, Mid-Atlantic, or something like that. But I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Okay. All right, folks. Also big news is Johnny Dark gone from WTTR. We're hearing rumblings that the great top 40 oldies man Johnny Dark, who's he's been on the area radio since the 50s. Ween, WCAO, WWMX, WBig, WQSR. Apparently, something's going on there at WTTR 1470 out of Westminster, and he's been missing from the show for a while. And there's rumblings that he may be gone from that station. So keep in touch with DCR TV, and we'll keep you updated on Johnny Dark and what he's up to next. And I hope it's on a big FM where that everybody can hear, because I can't hear WTTR down here. And I do enjoy listening to Johnny. Cool guy. Also, 15th anniversary for DCR TV this month. Send us a donation, okay? See all those ads on my site? They're great. But believe it or not, they only pay part of the bills. Everything's going up here. My health insurance is going up. The taxes are going up, and I'm sure they'll continue to go up under President Romney. But anyhow, send me a couple of bucks. Just click on the support link there at the top of DCR TV. Make it $29, and we'll give you a full year of DCR TV Plus with a whole bunch of cool pictures like George Michael in that kind of hippie outfit from the late 60s there. Thanks for watching Dave TV for this Tuesday. Feels like a Monday. It's a Tuesday, day after Labor Day, September 4th, 2012. Remember to live long and prosper.